Live on YouTube just for like 20 minutes today. Basically, I'll start the recording. I'll tell you what we're going to do in class, but it's similar to yesterday. All right. So let's start the class now. Let me start the recording so anyone who watches this will understand what's going on. Okay, welcome to this IELTS and OET grammar class. I'm going to focus again today on articles, all right? But I'm going to try and push you a little bit harder. I'll be giving you some more complex sentences to analyze. Hopefully you can find the errors. Now, in today's class, we're going to find some exception cases or cases where you think, oh, I don't get that, okay? That's all right. Articles is one of the hardest things in the English language. For me, I would say it's probably modal verbs, then articles, and then present perfect as the three most difficult things in English. So don't worry if you find some cases that you're not sure about today. The main thing is to have in your mind what we spoke about yesterday, right? Which was the logic of articles. Just because language sometimes doesn't follow the logic doesn't mean there isn't a logic. Okay, so let's just do a quick review, guys. Oops, this is the wrong one. Beg your pardon. Sorry about this. Let's just do a quick review, and then we're going to do some find the errors. Okay, so quick review from yesterday. How many? When it comes to articles, what is an article? Someone give me an example of an article. Michaela. Usually, how many possibilities?
We have three possibilities.
Three, right? So if you take a normal sentence like, I eat sandwiches, right? What can I say here? What are my three possibilities?
A sandwich.
A sandwich.
The sandwich.
The sandwiches, because it can be plural or singular, good. Or?
I eat sandwich.
Sandwiches, right? So it's the, and zero article. We did that yesterday. Now there's one exception to that. What was the quick exception? Right? Usually there's three things. You can say I like the pizza.
And
You can say I like the pizza. I like a pizza. Morning, say, or I like pizzas, right? But there is an exception. It's not an.
uncountable.
Exception. Uncountables. So there's three possibilities usually, isn't there? We said yesterday. But with uncountables, there's how many possibilities, RJ?
Two.
There's only two, right? So we can only say, can you give me an uncountable noun? Someone give me an uncountable noun. Joshna. Can you try to think of an uncountable noun? Anything you like.
Coffee, sir.
Coffee. When we're thinking about it as liquid, it's uncountable, isn't it? But if I'm thinking about coffee as a cup of coffee, then it becomes countable.
That is a countable,
right?
sir. Yes.
Yeah. So if I might say, Joshna, can you go and get me and Paul two coffees, right?
Yes.
Because what I mean is it's countable like this. But if we think of coffee like a liquid, okay, it is uncountable when we think about it like that. So you could say, I drink coffee. Okay, that's possibility. Well, that's one of the possibilities. What's the other possibility?
Coffee.
I drink
The coffee.
the coffee. Okay. Now, when we're thinking about it as a liquid, right, we cannot say, I drink a coffee, right? If it's a liquid that we're talking about. Thank you, Joshua. This is a really confusing example, okay, for people. Let me just quickly change it. So if I drink water, you can see it much more easy, guys. I drink water. I drink the water, right? Cannot say I drink our water. All right, so that's what we did yesterday. Just a quick review. Now, guys, I'm going to quickly show you some errors, and I want to see if you guys can find them. Here are the errors. I'll give you a couple of minutes. As usually my grammar classes, just try and draw a circle around the error. Where is the error? And then start to think about why. Why is it an error? Okay, so off you go. Okay, and anyone who wants to put something in the chat box, you're welcome to do that as well. So anyone who can't do the drawing, you're always welcome to put something in the chat box. Okay, so it seems like we've found the errors, right? Simple errors. Just going to take a quick screenshot of this for later. All right, so I've got a copy of this. Now, let's try and go through this a little bit. I went to the cinema and I saw film. I'm going to ask someone to come on the microphone and tell me why it's wrong. Okay, so Victoria, why is this wrong, Victoria? Victoria? Don't be shy. Just tell me what it should be, okay? What do I need in here, Victoria? No, okay, so we've got nothing from Victoria. Let me try someone else. RJ, what do I need in here, please?
The film.
I went to the cinema and I saw, it could be the film, right? Or it could be a film. It depends, doesn't it, on what? Not sure. Okay, well, we're going to review this. We're going to review this again, okay, in a minute, okay? But the main thing here, RJ, is the main point of this is you might not know if it's a or the, but you know this is wrong, don't you? This is 100%
Yes,
wrong.
sir.
Why?
You have to specify which film.
Well, how many possibilities are there, guys?
3 possibilities.
Yeah, and it is not one of the 3 possibilities. Right? You can only say a film, the film, or films. Right? So we know it's wrong. Now, if we know it's wrong, at least we can try to put the in, right? We don't want to leave a sentence in our essays that just says like that. Okay. So what about number 2? She has a new computers and it's difficult to use. I'm going to choose someone. Please be ready to put your microphone on, please. Reshma. Reshma, are you there?
Hello, sir.
What's the issue here?
The second one, sir.
It's number 2, yeah. What's the problem here?
She has a new computer, sir.
She has a new computer. Good. So here we could say, let's just say a film. Here we could say a new computer. So tell me why it's wrong. Do you remember? Why is it wrong? Why can't I say a computers? Do you remember?
It's coming only the singular. No.
It's to do with the singular, but again, think about it like possibilities, right? I can say a computer, the computer, right? Or computers. There's only 3 possibilities. This is not one of them, right? So we either get rid of this, yeah, or we could say this.
Yes. Yes.
She has new computers, and I suppose this is singular, isn't it? So you have to change it to that, right? So the point I'm making, guys, is we'll go in more detail in a sense, but stick with these 3 possibilities. Okay. All right. Number 3. She has a new information. She has a new information about us, about the incident. And be ready to turn on your microphone, please. Anne, are you there?
Hello, sir, I'm here.
What's wrong with number 3? She has a new information for us about the
He
incident.
has new information.
so
Information
it-
is uncountable.
Exactly. So we said, didn't we, when we come to uncountables, like water, there's only 2 possibilities, aren't there?
Yes, sir.
There's I drink water or I drink the water. We cannot say I drink
Water.
a water. And in the same way here, you cannot say she has a new information because information is
Uncountable.
countable. Fantastic. Okay, really, really good. Now, number 4, Andrea, can you go to the shops and buy me carrots that we saw earlier?
Yeah, can you go to the shop and buy me carrots? The carrots that we saw earlier.
Okay, so we need to explain this, don't we? It's definitely to the shops. Good. And it's that we, and what do you said the here as well, yeah? So why? Why is it the and the?
Because they are countable.
It's not to do with countableness because shops, I can say shop or shops.
The shop, yeah.
It's a normal word. So there's 3 possibilities. But why it has to be the here? Can anyone tell me why it
It's
must?
specific.
It's specific, isn't it? Because
was
We saw it earlier.
yeah, exactly. I know you're talking to me, let's say, and I know because I was with you and we were looking at the carrots together and we said, oh, those are nice carrots. So you can say the carrots and I know what you're talking about. And also the here. Why the here though, Andrea?
The shop.
Here we know them already. What about the shops? We know which ones. Specific. Do we know which shops?
Yes.
Yeah, we know which shop as well because we know where we saw the carrots. Okay. All right. Good work, guys. Now I want to move a little bit deeper into this idea of specific in general. And basically, we're just going to review yesterday. Okay. But I want to just mention some exceptions as well before we do another review. So I'm teaching you the logic of articles, okay? This is what we did yesterday. I'm trying to teach you the rational, the reasonable way it works, but there are exceptions in language always, okay? So I just want to mention some of them now. One of the exceptions is countries, okay? Countries doesn't really follow the rule of the. Okay, so just be careful, right? They don't really follow the rules. For example, you can say the UK, but you don't say the Germany. Why? I don't know, just because. Some people say it's because this is an acronym here and it means United Kingdom, but then you can say the Philippines. So actually, there probably is some logic to this, but I just want to tell you guys this is an exception. Okay. Now, what about newspapers? They're also exceptions. Can anyone tell me why newspaper headlines are exceptions? Anyone know the answer to this? When you see a British newspaper, Andrew, do you ever notice that the grammar's a bit weird in British headlines?
Not really. I haven't read too many articles or newspapers here in England.
Does anyone else have any idea what I'm trying to get at here? When you're reading a British newspaper, you're going to see some strange grammar in the headlines. That is the title. Okay, they often drop the smaller words, including articles in headlines, right? So they might say, man buys one expensive, I don't know, buys, yeah, expensive car, right? And maybe really the grammar should be that it's the expensive car, but in newspaper headlines, they will change the grammar, Okay, so don't worry when you see a newspaper headline if you think the grammar is strange. They change the grammar. What about this last one? Just some quick exceptions. The white tiger is rare and dangerous animal. Okay, this is a very important exception to the rules that we're learning today. Is this specific or general, guys? Everyone together? Specific or general?
Specific.
Specific, isn't it? But sometimes, like in nature programs, in science programs, right? Nature or science programs, and what they will do, they will use the article, they will use the, but they use it in general, right? It's just in this context. Oops. So here we have a sentence, the white tiger is a rare and dangerous animal. Are we talking about only one tiger, guys?
No.
Here it means
No.
all of them.
All the white tiger.
Okay, so these are just three notable exceptions. When it comes to countries, the logic doesn't work. You just have to learn it. When it comes to newspaper headlines, the logic doesn't work. They change it. When it comes to nature and science programs, or maybe like some academic language, they use but they use it in general. However, the main thing is don't let that stress you out, because in your exam, most of the time you will use this. For OET, IELTS, these rules apply, let's say, 95% of the time, maybe more. Okay, so let's just quickly review what we said yesterday about articles, the logic of articles. I'm going to ask someone to put their microphone on. I'm going to ask Anne. Are you there, Anne?
Hello, sir, I'm here.
Okay, quick review from yesterday. There are exceptions, but the logic is there are three possibilities here, all right? And just quickly give me an example sentence. We could using anything you like.
I ate the pineapple.
Good, I ate the pineapple. Now, can it be plural or singular?
It could be plural or singular.
Both, isn't it? So you can say I ate the pineapple or I ate
the pineapples.
Pineapples. Good. Give me another example with a and then zero.
I ate a pineapple.
And what about zero?
I ate pineapples.
Thank you very, very much. Now, I want someone to explain to me what the zero article means. Shahani, do you remember from yesterday? Just quickly, what does the zero article mean?
Zero means it's general.
General.
And plural, pineapples.
We said it's a bit like saying, not
it's
exactly,
bit similar to most or some.
Most. I would say most or all, right? So if I say I ate pineapples, that would be I ate most of. It would be a bit weird to say that because it means you've eaten all of them in the world, or almost all of the pineapples in the world. Okay, in the past tense. In the present tense, it would be different. Okay, a or an? Who wants to explain a or an for me? Maybe Benita, can I challenge you to do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go on.
That is general and singular.
It is, good. Which is a really weird idea. How can it be general and singular at the same time? Well, it's a bit similar to, what's that word that I told you yesterday? Remember?
Any.
Any, right? Again, this is not all the time, but most of the time it's very similar. Or most of the time you can replace it. So, can you go to the shops and buy me a pineapple? Can you go to the shops and buy me a pineapple? That's like saying any pineapple. Okay, last one, the most difficult one, I think. And I'm going to ask Mary, can you explain the?
The is used for specific and
singular and plural.
Singular and plural. And again, what's it a bit like saying?
It's like this or this.
A bit like this or these, okay? When I give you these words here, guys, it's not 100%, but most of the time it's a similar idea, okay? So this is the logic of articles we did yesterday. And I gave you some tests yesterday, but I want to try and push you now to really start to tackle some harder sentences. So we're going to go into groups. All right. So where are my IELTS people? Who here is an IELTS person?
Me.
Okay,
Me.
so you guys, I'm going to put you guys in a group, okay? And you guys are going to analyze these sentences here. Okay, I will come into your group and I'll give you these sentences. But can one of you take a screenshot now? Just take a quick copy of this. Can you do that, Andrea?
Yes,
A
I can.
screenshot? Okay. Now, OET people, say hello.
Hello,
Hello,
sir.
sir.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
I'm going to put you into groups. And what you're going to do is you're going to look at these 5 sentences and you're going to analyze them and you're going to find the errors. Okay? So what you need to do is, can you write down these sentences, please, now? Just write them down on a piece of paper. It's the easiest, most simple way to do this. Get a piece of paper, write it down. IELTS people, if you're a bit bored, you can start to think about these problems. Can you see any errors? So everyone just write down what you see on the screen. You're going to discuss it in your classes. IELTS people, don't worry, I'll come and help you with yours. Tell me when you're finished on the chat box, please. And I'll start to put you into rooms. I'm just trying to get, who are all the IELTS people? Andrea, there we go. Move to room 2. Beneath Ian, you're going to be in room 2 as well. Okay, Beneath you're going to be room 1. Jane, Raji. 4. Okay, I'm just organizing the groups. I hope you're writing these down, guys.
Yes, sir.
And remember, IELTS people, just try and see if you can see the errors whilst you're waiting. 2, 4. Okay, just type on the chat box when you're ready. I've got all the groups ready. All the IELTS people, you're going to be in the same one big group together. Nazia, I'll put you in the group with the IELTS people, okay? You're going to discuss the sentences. Where are the errors? But more importantly, why are they wrong? Why are they wrong? OET people, are we ready? Beneath is ready, Mary's ready. Actually, I'll break up the IELTS thing. You can have, no, because I'll come in that room together, yeah. Mary and Beneath have finished writing. Come on, guys, you need to write a bit faster than this. Just copy the sentences. Jane's ready. Loretta's ready. She's written down the sentences. Reshma is
Ready,
done.
sir.
Good
Ready,
stuff.
sir.
Victoria. Okay, so I'm opening the rooms. In room number 1, please. Can we have Anne, Benitha, and RJ? Jennifer, you can go in there as well. Go into room number 1, start to discuss this problem. In room number 2, we've got Andrea, Michaela, Ian, and Nazia and Shahani. You're my IELTS people. In room number 6, we've got Joshna, Fumi, Loretta, and Raji. Go in there and try to discuss these problems. Find the errors. Okay, I'll just put a little note here. Find the article errors. Loretta and Raji, have you joined? I hope so. I think we're just waiting for Anne to join. Sometimes it takes a few moments. There we go. Anne, are you okay? Right, she's in. I'm going to go and join the IELTS people, make sure that they're good.
Sir, I'm taking IELTS, sir.
Start getting ready now for everyone to come back. It seems like people are ready. This is good. Hey, that was quite smooth. The way people managed to go into the rooms, have a chat, and then come back quickly. That was nice. And Joyce, I'm sorry I put you in the wrong room for a time. Sorry about that.
It's okay,
So
sir.
it wasn't smooth from me, but it was smooth from you guys. So nice. Okay, so we're going to spend the next 15 minutes trying to make sense of these errors. Okay. As I said before, at the start of this class, some of this you're still going to find tricky. But I would be happy as a teacher if you got 80% and you felt good about 85% of this. All right. And then as you progress in your English study, you'll start to get better and better. All right. So let's have a look at the first one with OET. So all the OET people, she has a callus information on the plantar surface of her right foot, as well as also on the plantar surface of left foot. What's the problems here? Can anyone tell me? Shout it out.
As well as an ulcer.
It is. It's an ulcer. Okay, good. And the reason is? Why is that wrong? Well, firstly, it's wrong because how many possibilities are there, guys? Ulcer is countable, right? So you can't just say ulcer. You have to say the ulcer. You have to say an ulcer, or you have to say
Ulcers.
ulcers. In this case, it's an ulcer. Why?
Because it's referred to.
Yeah, we usually, it's one of many, right? It's kind of like general singular, one of many. You would always say, I have a broken leg. I have a headache. There's many of these things in the world. I have one of them. Okay, that's kind of the logic there. There's also one more error though. Did anyone see it? I'm not sure if everyone saw it.
Of our left.
Okay. So this is actually specific, isn't it? It's specific. Yeah. But anytime you're dealing with a body part, we always need to say whose it is. Her. So it's the same kind of meaning, her. Here, it can have the same kind of meaning, all right? Okay, recently Mrs. Jones underwent the surgery for osteoarthritis and she's now recovering well. What's the problem, everyone?
The surgery.
The surgery.
Okay, and why? You're all going to say it's uncountable.
Surgery is uncountable.
Yeah, but I want to stress this to you guys because you keep saying the same thing over and over again. With uncountables, you can say the. That's not a good explanation, right? Why should it be in this case? Oops, sorry. Why is it not the surgery? You've got to think of the context of the.
Because it's one.
Usually in an OET letter, when you're talking about surgery, there's lots of surgeries.
Yes,
right? And it's just one of them. So if we think of this, I know this is a little bit different to what we've said before, but the basic idea is the same as this, right? There's lots of surgeries here. I had one of those surgeries. I had, well, I can't say can I? Because it's uncountable, right? So I'm going to have to go for this. Let me start this again. Thought I was doing really well then. This is an uncountable noun, isn't it?
Yes.
Usually. Okay, there are some situations where it can be countable, but usually in OET it's uncountable. So I can say the, or I can say this. Those are the only two possibilities. And we're not being specific. Many surgeries. So we're going to go for the zero article. Does anyone have any questions about that? I know that was a bit tricky. Come back to that one if you need. Number 3, however, what's the problem here? Shout it out, guys.
As a dry
cough.
Yes, a dry.
Okay, and the reason is why?
Singular.
Could be any.
Countable.
Singular.
This is a countable
It's
noun,
singular.
right?
Yeah.
And I can say the,
countable, yeah.
say or I can say s.
Course.
Those are my 3 possibilities. I cannot say this. This is impossible. So I have to think what's the best one. We always say, don't we, with a broken leg, with a headache, we say in medical context. There are lots of coughs. You have one of them. Okay, number 4. Currently, she's resistant to a medical intervention. Oops, I've changed this one already. We put in a here. Why?
Intervention.
Because intervention, we have different intervention.
Any intervention.
There's different ones, and she doesn't want any. She doesn't want this one. She doesn't want this one. All of them she doesn't want. So we could say a medical intervention. It's general, or we could say
Interventions.
interventions, right? And in this case, the meaning is pretty much the same, so it doesn't matter. What about the language barrier? Anyone? Is that correct?
Due to language barriers.
So
RJ,
it
are
can
you
be
there?
language barriers.
Who said that?
Me, Victoria.
Victoria. Now, I think logically, it could be something like that, but we always say the language barrier. We always say it, right? And what we mean in a medical context, what we mean is specifically the English one, right? English foreign language one. So I guess we're trying to think of this as a sort of, as a sort of specific thing. That's a tricky one, okay?
Oh, okay, sir.
Okay, last one. Recently on 18th of May, he had a fall while he was descending stairs and was bad and has badly grazed left knee. I'm going to ask Reshma, what's the problem here, Reshma?
Hello, sir.
Hello, Reshma. So, what can you see the error? Did you discuss this?
He had a fall while he was descending stair and he badly grazed his left knee.
Well, it is his left knee. Good, right? Because knee, you need to do something. You can't just say knee, right? But there's one more. Can anyone see it, guys?
The stairs.
The stairs.
Okay. So do we know which ones? Is it specific?
Specific.
Yes.
It is specific. So we could say we could even say his stairs because they belong to him, couldn't we? In this case, it works for both. Okay. So let's try and move on to the IELTS ones. Now, OET people, stay with me because I still want you to try and think about it like this. Okay? Specific, singular and plural, general singular, or general plural. Let's see what we can do with the IELTS. Now, IELTS people, number 1, graphs provide data on the number of employees. What's the problem here with graphs?
The graph.
Yeah, and why is it the graphs?
It's specific.
It's specific. Why is it specific?
There's only
IELTS, they always show the graph.
They show, and we know which one. It's like saying this graph here, this one. Yeah, so you need to say the graphs. Good. All right, what about the second one? Let me go back to this. Sorry if this is a bit confusing for you guys. Here we go. The supplied flowchart provides information about the various steps required to fulfill the work experience necessary of university students.
about various steps.
University various steps.
Just a little spelling error there. I'll leave this in. This is the original, sorry. What do we think it is?
I mean the various steps.
Well, this is a trick one, though. Do we know which ones?
No, there are various. Many.
Okay, but as a whole, we know which ones, right? We do know which ones.
Yes, sir.
There are 5 steps. We can see the diagram. It's a bit like this. We can see it. Yes, that was kind of like a trick one. Okay.
Yes.
The university students. Okay. Now, what about number 3? First and foremost, there are some people who are comfortable with their habitual patterns. It is mainly seen among the old age people who neither learn new things nor support the changes. All right, just IELTS people for 1 second. You don't say anything. OET people, I wonder if my challenge to you, can you see this? There is one problem. One problem. I dare anyone from OET to find it. Look for the nouns.
Among old age people?
The problem is here. Who said that? Is that Mary?
Yes.
So IELTS people, tell me what's the problem here?
Support changes? No.
Well, what's the problem here?
Yeah.
Shahani?
Old age people. People.
It should be this, okay?
Yes. Among old
So
age.
is this general or specific, guys? Everyone together, it's general. Right? Think about IELTS. Very often in IELTS, you're talking in general. Look at I included sentence 1 because that helps you. There are some people who are comfortable with their habitual patterns. Are we talking about specific people in India or America? Are we talking about people in Australia? We're just talking about people
Generally.
in general. Just there's some people in all the countries. So because this is general, right? We're also talking about old age people in general. Okay? It's similar to with OET as well. Like you've got to think of the context of the OET letter. With a hospital, right? Does the reader know which hospital I'm talking about or not? Right? Okay, number 4. First and foremost, around the world, the crime rate is dropping. It has recently been observed that the rate of crimes in the community has dropped significantly compared to the past. Actually, I'm going to do this one last because I put a little star here because it's the hardest one. Number 5. The population explosion is increasingly becoming a problematic issue globally for both the developed and undeveloped nations. Can anyone tell me if there's a problem here?
Without the before developed?
Developed and undeveloped.
Yeah. Now this is a very, very tricky one. People might not even notice this, but according to our logic of articles, Andrea, you are right. Why is that?
Because it's general.
We're not talking about specifically like America. That's a developed nation, right? We're not talking about specific things, are we? Good. So it's for both developed and undeveloped nations. Andrea, what type of article is this?
0.
0, right? We're talking in general. We're talking about all or most of them. All right, last one, guys, and then I'll end this class. First and foremost, around the world, the crime rate is dropping. It has recently been observed that the rate of crimes in the community have dropped significantly compared to the past. Who knows where the problem is? So hard, this one. Anyone? I'll give you 50.
Pass.
Come on, guys, draw a circle. Where do you think the noun with the problem is? Because there's lots of articles, isn't there? There's lots of the, and most of them are correct, but one of them is not correct. Interesting. Yeah, some people. Okay, we would always say the past, but I totally understand someone who says, well, that doesn't make sense. I do understand that, but we always, again, it's an exception. We just say the past, we say the future. I guess there's only one of them. There's not a lot, there's not many. So I'm sorry, okay, I understand. It is actually the second one. It is the community. Why do we not want to say the community here?
Because communities in general around the world, crime rate.
It could be
Same
any.
idea, isn't it? This is, we are talking, good, talking about communities around the world. So what type of article is it?
General.
Let me say the rate of crimes in a community or communities?
Communities.
In communities. So it is the, everyone together?
0.
0.
The 0, isn't it? All right, hope it was useful today, guys. As I said before, you can rewatch this video. You can also have a copy of this document on our website. OET people, just take a 2 or 3 minute break and come back. We're going to be doing OET reading today, okay? Just to explain on the schedule, OET general, that means that we can kind of choose what we want to do. So if you guys on a Friday want to do something specific, right? Oh, sir, can we please do another speaking class? Send us a message and we'll try to do it. So today I think we should do reading because OET reading is really tough. It's the hardest one. And next week is writing week. So we don't need to do more writing, okay? IELTS people, I'll see you later. Everyone else, I'll say thank you very much for attending. Hope you all have a lovely weekend if I don't see you.
Thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.